Forges here, and welcome back to Pvz Heroes. Today I wanted to actually start playing Pvz Heroes again. That's why I came back with this video game again. So today's topic is to actually I'm gonna make a deck building guide for new players because I'm again rank 1. That's why I decided to do this. So um, let's start with the first hero. Not the first hero, with all the heroes. Then I should go back to the collection, and then I'm gonna teach you how to build a deck. Next, we have, for example, let's say we're playing as Solar Flare. Solar Flare's classes are Kabloom and Solar. Kabloom and Solar are these cards. Kabloom class here, the whole class is here, and also there is Solar. Solar is at the very bottom. Solar cards are these, so we should get off these cards when building the Solar Flare deck. Solar Flare is my favorite hero, that's why I decided to pick her first. Next, let's start a new deck with Solar Flare in order for me to teach you. New deck. So, if you want to build, for example, let's say you want to kill the opponent, the zombie hero, as fast as possible, then you should build an aggro deck. What is aggro? Aggro in card games is a term used in order to explain to kill the face as fast as possible. Kill the face as fast as possible is called aggro. Let me just type it in here in order for you to remember. And usually when saying aggro, we shout it out loud in order for the opponent to understand that this is an aggro deck. So this is an aggro deck. For example, I have an aggro deck ready, which I took from a YouTuber / streamer Fry Him Up. I mostly learned deck building in this particular game from him. So aggro Solar Flare, let's see. Aggro Solar Flare is 1-drops, two 1-drops. What are these 1-drops? These 1-drops are Blooming Heart. When this does damage, get +1. So whenever this hits face or a zombie, it gets +1, which means that is gonna grow in attack. Growing in attack equals more damage to face. More damage to face equals aggro. So that's basically the equation. Next, we have Punted Pumpkin is just a 4/2, but it has a downside. A downside is when played, the zombie player conjures a monster. But the downside is very minor because monster cards are usually bad on the zombie side. Next, we have Apple Saucer. When played, if you made at least 6 sun this turn, get Strike Through. This is especially easy with Solar Flare because she is a Solar class hero. So next we have Berry Blast. Solar Flare doesn't have any amphibious minions. I mean minions that you play in the water lane. But there is Berry Blast, which can save the day. It can save the day by simply killing the amphibious minion on the zombie side. That's why that's why we basically run it as a full set, 4 copies. Then we have Fireweed. When played on the ground, make hot lava here, but the downside of playing it on the ground and getting hot lava is nullified if you play it on Heights lane. That's why we take it as a 2-drop, 2 cost 3/2, which is a basically very good aggro card. That's why this is called an aggro Solar Flare deck. Next we have Poison Ivy, Leafy Berry Plant, our anti-hero 4. Anti-hero means this gets +4 when no zombies are here. So that's why when no zombies is basically hitting face. So when hitting face, it's an aggro deck. This is the equation. Next we have Zapricot. Zapricot is just a 3 cost 4/2 with no abilities, which is just a good aggro card overall. Just a minion that can just zap the zombie hero's face. Next we have Elderberry. Strike Through. Strike Through means hits the zombie here and the zombie hero. Plant evolution is play this plant to use this ability. Play this on a plant to use this ability. So that's why we have basically a lot of cheap plants in order to be able to activate this ability. If you activate it, this gets +3. It becomes a 5/4 strike through. 4 cost 5/4 strike through is a very, very good aggro card. That's why we run it in this deck. Next we have this is addition. This addition, Wingnut was added back when back in the meta of Pvz Heroes when bonus attacks on the zombie side were a thing. This stops zombies from doing bonus attacks. That's why this was added. But this can also be removed in order to get some 4-drop that deals a lot of damage. But anyway, this is a 4 cost 3/7, which is a very good stat line. So that's why we basically run it. Next we have Astrocado. I think I made this deck myself. I made some minor alterations because I remember that Fry's deck had 3 Astrocados and 1 of something. This is Astrocado. This is our finisher, our big finisher in this deck. Astrocado is strike through. When destroyed, gain an Astrocado pit. Astrocado pit is a 1 cost, 1 health guy that gets started the turn. This transforms into the Astrocado. That's why we get this ability. That's why we get this as a finisher. Next we have this deck. This basically is the deck. I am going to play 1 game with it, and this is going to be it for the explanation of the archetype called aggro. I explained it first because aggro is my favorite type of deck. I like hitting face and only hitting face in order to win. I hope you guys hear me because I'm using my headphones. If not, I should probably just... that's why I kept two Haunted Pumpkins because Super Brains, the zombie hero, doesn't have a lot of ways of dealing with it. On turn 1 at least. On turn 1 there's no way for Super Brains to deal with it. Alright. Oh, there's Berry Blast, that's good. Where's... oh yeah, Con Man. Okay, you got Con Man, you die. My guy deals 4 damage and his does 3, so... and he used Deadly for nothing, that's good. He doesn't really know the game well. Alright, that's bad. I'm gonna explain a deck building guide for the zombie side later, because this is the first part of this guide is for the plants and for the aggro type of deck. I will just go face and only go face. But in order to protect myself from these zombies, I'm gonna use this. Oh yes, it's gonna block the block, that's good. Usually in aggro decks you use your health as a resource in order to kill the face faster. So elderberry here. As you can see, the power played its role here. We kill this. And we win. So I'm gonna rank up from Wood League using this deck. That's basically why, because it's a very fast-paced deck, aggro deck. This was the first part of explaining aggro decks and the first part of explaining what decks are in general in this game. So thank you for watching. This was part 1. See you in the next